Roblox Wanted has been out for almost a year. It released in December, which still has a couple of months away from its first anniversary. But I'd like to talk about how impressive it actually is that Wanted was able to even stay alive for this long. Because if you just try and look at other prison genre games, they don't exactly last as much anymore, like madcity and jailbreak. Now I'm not exactly sure about jailbreak, maybe it's still alive, maybe a lot of people are still playing it, but it's Wanted, which is the main focus, and which has made a really great achievement in staying alive this far. Because, like I said, most potential games they usually don't last this long. They either die out on the first month or the second month, or they just usually continue on. It's like a very big gamble. But Wanted, fortunately, carried on, and it's still been carrying on for quite a while. I honestly thought this game was gonna die within like the first no within like 2 3 months, but apparently it took quite a while for it to slowly build up its player count. It was getting more and more players almost. It still gets a lot of players every day. I mean, its slowest isn't even like 10,000. It usually reaches to almost 20 or 30,000 players. That's how good the game is now. Now, obviously, it usually increases more when it's admin abuse, because in admin abuse, you get a lot of rewards, you get good vaults, and you get just a lot of good things. Speaking of which, this is kind of what helped Wanted to like succeed more. It's that it did like the game is completely different compared to other prison games, and it's far more advanced, and it's pretty fun as well. Like for their robberies, such as the bank vault, for example. It may seem like a simple robbery, but once you join their Discord, you'll notice that they have a bot which is directly linked to the vault, and it literally informs you about which vault it is, and you can get notified for which rare vault actually appears. The only ones that aren't available are silver and regular. Those ones, they don't exactly let you get notified for that, but you can get notified for other vaults like sapphire, ruby, emerald, amethyst, diamond. I don't know if there's one more. Maybe there's one more, but I'm not exactly sure. But this is something that's also completely different about their bank heist, and it's that their bank, it's not just a whole entire repeated thing. Like in Mad City, if you ever rob the bank, you would just get $3,000 within the game for just robbing the bank. And if you had VIP, it doubles your money, which is something Wanted doesn't have. You don't double your money because there is no VIP game pass for that. The only part where you can use Robux is to either restore your items or get other deals. And if I'm not wrong, that's it. Maybe to get more money as well. But other than that, it's not completely Robux reliant as well, which is actually a good thing. It actually shows that the team isn't exactly very greedy. Although sometimes they have made some poor decisions in removing some changes, like in the mini bank. If you ever found a rare gem or a rare item that you could loot and sell, only one person can get it now, but before they made it so that other people can get it. So if there's a Bitcoin and one person takes it, maybe two or three people could have taken it, but now they can't do that anymore, which is unfortunate, but I understand why they've done it. And it's the same complexity with the plane heist as well, because even for that, the wall changes like every single time. So so it does get interesting to actually grind, because you get to like you get to go ahead and see which wall you're gonna get and how much, and then you'll just get an idea as to how much money you're gonna be getting. So if it's so mostly in the plane it's just sapphire and above. I don't think there's anything below that. At least not from what I've seen. Yeah, actually no. It starts from gold and it just goes further, but it doesn't go anywhere below gold, which is something that's actually really good for the plane heist. And same for the jewelry store, because in order to rob it, you have to actually go and get some things instead of just collecting some things. Like you gotta get the buzzsaw and the wall cracker in order to rob it. Whereas for other games, you can just go right in and rob it anyways. And like I said before, usually they'll give you the same amount, but for the jewelry store vault, it's always different. It changes every single time you rob it. So once you rob it and then it closes, it reopens, it's gonna have a completely different vault, and it's either gonna have some really really good loot or some loot that is far better than what you've been getting. Another thing is how consistent they've been keeping up with their updates. Although I have to admit their events aren't exactly the best, because the Christmas and the Easter event felt like a whole copy paste. I made a video on this before. I still think it was a little copy paste, so I kind of hope that they change that up a bit. But so far, the events that they've added, I mean, the updates that they've added are pretty good overall. Especially with the first time the plane heist came out, a lot of people were dissatisfied with it, which then led them to immediately revamp it. Which, if I'm going to be honest, it's not entirely different. It still feels the same. I'm not exactly sure what's different. I didn't play the game for long at that time after the plane heist update came out, but it got revamped apparently. And so far, that was only their worst update. And after that, there wasn't exact. And even before that, there didn't seem to be a lot of negative received uh, reviews on their updates, like the jewelry store, cars, the baby, the I think it was a Bayview update where they just updated a small part of town, and yeah, there were some other updates as well. I honestly can't remember that. There was an airdrop as well, and that actually encourages others to fight themselves, because if you try and collect the airdrop, it will turn into a combat zone. Speaking of combat zones, another thing that actually encourages, especially the people who love to PvP even more, because if you join the syndicate, you can apparently kill your own team members, which is something I found really strange at first, but it's actually kind of useful if you want to try and be better at the game, and if you want to get more money, because if you play the game, you'll understand that syndicate members could get a lot of bounty on their heads, and if you collect them, well, you'll obviously receive quite a lot of money. Another thing related to, which is somewhat similar, is their missions apparently. So the missions, they come in quite a lot. If I'm not wrong, they come in like every single update, which is something I have never even made a video on, and I might do that in the possible future. But they have been releasing quite a lot of missions, which actually like keeps the activity of the game, because they make it more complex each time. Some of them are like literally impossible, and some of them are hard, and some of them are fun to do. Robbing an amethyst vault, and then there was one mission which I am so confused on how to do, because it just seems impossible to even do it in the first place. But it's like you have to loot, I think, 500,000 in a bag. I do not know how that's possible. So if someone knows, please tell me, because I don't know how to do that. But emissions are what keeps the game alive as well, and it also does encourage, like with the police update, which is also something I never even made a video on. But with the police update, I assume that it was just going to be like they were going to revamp the police base a bit as well, and add in a couple of vehicles, which, don't get me wrong, they did add a couple of vehicles and revamp the police base, but they also gave them some missions. So it encourages them to not only stay on the criminal or syndicate team, but it also encourages them to actually participate in a co-op team. This is something that was completely missed within like other games like Mad City, because if you take a look at Mad City now, it's completely dead. Like before, it used to be known by so many other people, but now it's just a complete dead zone. It's just wasted potential. I mean, don't get me wrong. Chapter 2 of Mad City, around the beginning, I think it was quite nice, to be honest, but now it's just like they were what went wrong, and I really hope that that's something that Wanted avoids, because if I'm not wrong, Mad City had this thing where they kind of forced you, when the boss fight came out for chapter 2, for Crispy Bacon. Apparently they had you grind the boss fight for ages in order for you to get what you want, and the boss fight itself was already pretty hard, and it was already impossible to take it on if you were alone. So that's kind of something that people were extremely dissatisfied about, from what I heard before. People absolutely hated when you had to keep fighting the boss over and over, because eventually it just got boring. And don't get me wrong, people were really hyped for this boss fight, but the way that they had handled it was not right. The rewards were worth it, but it just eventually got tiring to even play the boss fight anymore, to the point where just no one wanted to play it anymore. They just wanted the event to go away. And now you can see Mad City isn't even being worked on anymore. The last time that even had an update was around 2025 with their mall heist update, and after that they've just been completely silent, which is unfortunate. So I really do hope that, like I said before, Wanted doesn't make that same mistake again. But there is also a little problem that Wanted is making, which I'm sure everyone has forgotten about, and I mentioned this quite a lot of times. But they need to actually make some lore for their game, because nothing has really happened for that anomaly that they just placed on that hilly area. Because after that, well, nothing has really happened, and I don't think missions actually count as a part of the storyline. Like, I think it's just missions and just to give you some extra loot. So, anyways, this is how Roblox Wanted has been getting popular nowadays. It's actually, like I said before, it's actually impressive how this game has been rising up more and more each time with its player count. I really hope that this game definitely succeeds more and more, and it doesn't just die out eventually. Like, I hope one bad update doesn't just kill the game entirely. But anyways, if there's anything else you think may have made Wanted succeed, do let me know down in the comments. And thank you all for watching this video, and I will see you all next time.